have to say the Pledge of Allegiance. We have the pro team that is in favor of them saying the Pledge of Allegiance, the con team which is opposed. We're going to have our opening statements done here in front of the room so that everybody will be able to hear, your point of view to begin with. Let's first introduce ourselves so we'll know who the team members are. On the con side, could you speak to me?
Katie.
This is Katie, okay.
Michelle. Melissa.
Bears.
Ferris. Okay, and on the pro side?
Carly.
Justin.
Justin.
Two Justins? Oh, that's confusing. Okay. Katie, would you call this one that's in the air so we can see which team's going to go first?
Tails.
As it is, your team would like to start, okay? Okay, as you start, would you come up, make your statements one at a time, starting with
I believe that people should stand to say the pledge because many Americans died in wars for our flag to stand for freedom, and it only takes a couple of seconds.
I think people should say the pledge because the pledge states one nation under God, and that includes everybody in the United States.
I think people should say the pledge because the flag represents the country and the country protects you.
I think people should stand and say the pledge for respect for our country.
Okay, thank you. Very nicely done. Now for the con side, we'll start with Katie's opening statement.
Saying the pledge is violating other people's religious beliefs.
Okay, now we have Michelle.
According to federal law and state in education, you shouldn't refer the God, and the Pledge of Allegiance refers to God.
I don't think everyone should have to say the Pledge of Allegiance because in the Pledge of Allegiance it says liberty and justice for all, and in this country liberty and justice doesn't exist for everyone, therefore as no meaning.
The Pledge of Allegiance is a form of nationalism which can lead to war.
Now that we have the opening statements from both sides.
Settle down, people. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to ask one of the teams to question the other team. I believe they asked first.
Yeah, they started first, they asked
Okay,
first.
the pro side will question the con side first.
I would like to question
Melissa?
Melissa, what do you mean? I don't really understand the way you said it.
Okay, put it this way. Not everyone poor and rich, think of it that way. If someone poor goes into court, you know the rich person's probably going to get an easier way out and everything. And also because most of the time, not everyone's treated fairly because they should be. No matter, it's mainly by their race and stuff people judge them by. And liberty and justice and the Pledge of Allegiance, they mean for everyone to be treated equal, which there is, no one is really treated equal.
So you don't believe our country treats people fairly?
No, I don't.
You don't believe that the welfare system treats people fairly, huh? So everybody can have food on their table?
I understand where you're coming from, but still, doesn't mean, just because they have food on our table doesn't mean verbally and stuff they're treated fairly.
Have you ever seen any case where people haven't been treated fairly because of
I
race
have.
in the court? Can you please explain?
Not in court, but I've seen it everywhere else. These countries, open your eyes, you'll find it.
Do we have a further question?
The fourth one. What do you mean by it starting a war? Saying the pledge will start a war.
It refers to our country as basically like the best country. It pretty much says that. But if you listen to somebody, if somebody else listens to it on another country, it refers nothing to any other country. Or it says basically all about our country, how great it is, and they would think that that's comparing their country to it and making it look like nothing. So that could lead to war.
Have you ever seen a hockey game?
Yes.
Montreal Canadiens versus any American team, they say both national anthems.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything, really. If you think about it,
It tells me that we respect them and they respect us.
it doesn't. It's not talking just about Canada. Israel, Iraq, anywhere. If you think about it, all those countries, when they listen to the Pledge of Allegiance, it could be they could think it's against their country, and that could lead to war.
Do we have a further question?
When is another country gonna hear our pledge?
If somebody from another country comes on like a business trip or something, or they come to see maybe they should move here, and they don't like what they see, they hear the pledge.
If they're gonna move here, then they should respect
They should
not-
respect us as
Yeah.
a people.
But if it doesn't refer to anything from another country, it's basically.
Have you ever heard a pledge from another country? Does that refer to how great America is?
No, it doesn't say anything about any other country, so basically.
So every pledge is alike for just that country. This is about whether people should stand for it.
Not really. Some countries could refer to other countries. I'm sure you haven't heard all the anthems for every country.
No, I haven't, but I'm just saying I've heard a couple, alright, and I have never heard them say anything about their country and then say, oh, the United States is great.
Okay, give us.
It's for each country individually.
Okay,
It shouldn't be something for every country.
Yeah, give us some good examples.
What do you want? What do you mean? Give me some good examples. What?
Countries that don't. Other than us.
Any that I know of.
But wait, I've got you here. You just said you hadn't heard all of them.
Right. I said any that I've heard of.
Oh, okay. You mean pledges of allegiance to their country? Or of
They're
countries?
not all called Pledge Allegiance in other
Well,
countries
yes, I
either.
know. But there is, you just said all of them that you've heard of. That could be, you mean countries?
Right. I said the majority. I haven't heard them all, but I've heard a few, and the majority I have never heard them say anything of a mention of another country.
How many
It's an
have you heard?
individual country's thing.
Two? Americas and Canadas?
Huh? Yeah, and I've heard some other ones on some TV, on CNN when they're in the other countries, and I have never
Well, that
heard
doesn't mean
any
anything.
mention of how America or another country. I've never heard anything about France. It's an individual country, and they should say what they want about their country, and in another country, that's their business there.
Okay, do we have another question? We'll get to the audience as soon as we can. We just want to finish questions from here. From the pro side?
If before they come to the country, they should know that you gotta say the pledge when you get here.
Well, how are you supposed to know that?
Alright,
They should
I have a
know.
question. Alright, here.
Your question's
No,
becoming,
I'm just answering.
you're responding.
All right. Well, you're saying to us, if people come into our country, why don't they have show respect saying the Pledge of Allegiance? Alright. But how about you guys? You guys only say the Pledge of Allegiance because you guys are in school. How about your parents? They don't say it every day, so therefore they're not showing respect towards their country either.
If they go to a baseball game and they got it.
They don't
Yeah, but how many times do your parents go to a baseball game or a football game or something?
You don't go every day, do you?
I mean, on Saturday and
No,
Sunday.
no,
Here.
nobody
Saturday
said
and
that
Sunday,
the
you
pledge
said
was,
the Pledge
it had
of
to be
Allegiance?
said every day. We're talking about certain occasions.
But your parents don't even say it on certain occasions because they're never there. On certain occasions, and then when you
Yeah,
guys
but
are
they
in school.
say it on their own in other places.
So your
Oh,
parents
This
say
yeah,
it.
isn't just about saying the pledge in school. This is about saying it anywhere.
Anyway, I'm gonna go out in my yard to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Right, okay. Yeah.
Okay. How about you go for a ride around on your bike and see how many people you hear saying the Pledge of Allegiance on a Saturday, a Sunday, or after school? How many people you hear?
Do you say every day on special occasions?
Excuse me, I would like us to get back on track. Patrick made a good point. We are talking about, should we have to say the Pledge of Allegiance? The debate is not about on your bike, other places, so we need to stay on track. He's absolutely right.
Okay, also, we need to distinguish between a national anthem and a Pledge of Allegiance. They're two separate things. Okay, we're getting away from our topic. Our topic was, should students have to say Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, so are there other questions focusing back on that topic?
You're about to run out of time.
Yeah, I think we'll be out of time, but we'll start with the con side questioning the pro side when we come back tomorrow. Students having to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Yesterday we had the opening statements and we had the pro side. Mrs. Mohammed's team over here questioned the con side and then we ran out of time. So today we'll start with the con side, the side that does not believe students should have to say the pledge. Your chance to question.
I have a question for
Edmund.
you said that we have no problem, like we have no problem with it, like that there's no problem.
I don't believe I ever stated that.
I have a question. Patrick, you believe in the Constitution, right? Well, you also believe in the freedom of speech then, right? Well, don't you believe in the freedom not to speak?
No, no. Because if you knew anyone that was killed in the war fighting for our flag, there's not one in here, but for that flag that stands for freedom, right here, for our country, then you would want to stand maybe a little bit easier if a relative of yours that you were close to or your father was ever killed in the war, like many people were fighting for this flag right here, for America to be the greatest country in the world, then I think you would feel a little differently about standing for a few seconds.
Not necessarily, because some people don't mind not standing. It doesn't matter. Just because you don't stand for your flag doesn't mean you show respect towards your country.
For that few seconds, does it matter just to stand and respect this and think about so many millions of people that got killed in the war? The Revolutionary War, millions of people died for this country to be free and not part of Britain.
Do we have any other questions from our council?
I got a question.
Justin, the two Justins on the end.
No, not the edible one. Yeah, that. Could you like repeat what you said?
Excuse me?
Could you repeat what I said?
Yes, Justin, could you repeat your statement from yesterday? Do you remember, I guess your opening statement?
Oh, I said that you should respect the flag because the country represents the flag. The country protects it.
How does it protect you?
Like if your house catch on fire, the fire department will come. In the hospital, if you get hurt, you get sent to the hospital. The doctor will help you. Yeah, but it's in this country.
Do we have any more questions? Yes. Melissa?
Yeah. For all you guys. Well, with the nationalism, what Ferris was trying to say yesterday is that if you were taking a soccer game, for example, people from all their countries, they come around sometimes, and times they think other teams, other countries are better than other ones, and then they get into this big argument about it, and that's what he's trying to say about nationalism. People, other countries think that they're better than others.
That was mostly why the World War II was made, because Germany thought he was better than any other country.
But that doesn't have anything to do with standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to show respect to your country. Your country, not no one else's country. Your country.